Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my Ascension Messages. My name is Bobbie Richardson. I am a channeler and a seer and a guide for these new frequencies, and I am going to do some fun tarot reading today. I say it's fun, but it's always serious as well, because there are some really profound messages that come through. I also take a class that's bi-weekly, and yesterday was our elemental class. Next class up is going to be all about dreams and interpreting dreams, and maybe if you come along, I'll interpret your dream in the class. But it's all about aligning you with your dreams and trying to figure out what they actually mean. So that'll be a fun class, the next one. And I do one-on-one readings, so my link is down below if you want a reading. I can use channel message. I usually use channel messages mainly, but I do tarot as well. So if anyone's interested in that, look below. What else have I got? I did a Kevin Moore interview, and that should be coming up in the next few weeks, being published. And also, I have a couple of other interviews been asked just recently. Actually, last night, someone asked me to be on their show. So there's a few more interviews coming up. But, and I was also on Jeff Mana's last Saturday live. So let's get into the energies that are helping us at the moment and guiding us and coming towards us to help clear us, to bring us back into alignment with our authentic self. Hi, lady. Good to see you. It's a bit shadowy here because it's getting darker and darker in the mornings, becoming winter. So I got all these shadows all over my face from my glasses. Sorry about that. That should clear up. As mind you, it's a very gloomy day today outside. Really windy and rainy here at the moment in Australia. Okay, let's get into this. I have pulled one card only, and the card that fell out was Think Big. There are unseen forces ready to support your dreams. So this is really, I really feel that this is to do with as we start to clear away things, we start to understand what our big dreams were. Those dreams that we had when we were little, when we had no conditioning, when we had no programming, and yet it was just a feeling because we didn't even know what this world even meant. And yet that feeling can come back in these dreams that we have, wanting for ourselves. And it is within our own understanding of like how we focus in on our world, our reality and everything, that's going to either carve a path of the dreams or carve a path of the nightmares, they're saying. So really important at the moment to be focusing in on, because whatever you focus in on is going to come to light. So that is one of the big rules of this universe. But we've been taught to focus on the worst scenarios, to try to catch them, and all it's doing is bringing them to us. And then we say, see, I needed to focus in on that so that I could catch it again when it came round again. But the focus itself is literally bringing the problem into you, where if you think big about your life and go, you know what, I know my dream is massive. I know it's over there and it's got nothing to do with this reality, and it's really shifting this reality because it's shifting my reality. And oh my gosh, can this really become when it's not even part of this reality? All that sort of thing. If you have that as a set goal and it's in the distance and it's there, every single step, as you start to focus more and more on it and you start to align yourself with feeling into what makes you happy in the moment towards that goal. I'm doing one more step towards that crazy ass goal that's over there. Wow, it makes me feel excited. It makes your soul sing. Your soul literally feels enlightened when you take one more step towards those goals, because that is the natural self. That is the natural, authentic self. Also, someone asked me last week, what's grounding? And I just want to touch on that before I get more into what the tarots are going to say, because I just remembered it, right? And grounding is taking those dreams and then finding something that you can bring into this reality that can be grounded, is actually doing the action towards that dream that's grounded in this reality. So for instance, I mean, I'll take my own example because that's the first thing that I know about. So I'm looking to become, get my messages out there more, like have my messages be spread around the world more, touching more and more people that are limited in their consciousness. So for me to do that, grounding would be, I actually put out that I'm looking for an interview, or I accept an interview that's come my way because I've manifested it into my reality. And then to ground it means I accept it and I actually do it. The grounding is the action. The grounding is the physical, tangible, I can see it, this is working action. So the logical side is all about that. And it shouldn't be carving the new path. Only the imagination can carve the new path, because the logical side has no way of being able to do that. It can only carve a path from the past, project it into the future. It cannot create something brand new. Your imagination does it, and we've been taught not to use it. And I know that I've said that in other readings as well, but I just wanted to bring that up for those that didn't understand. Anyway, let's get back into this dream, this story, this dream, this tarot reading. And I'll pick a couple more of these cards. So they're asking us to dream, to think big, and then trust that it's going to be supported in one fashion or another. You know, we might still have our mundane day-to-day life going on, but then on the side, oh wow, I've actually done one more step towards that other goal that no one really knows about yet, or that's bigger than life itself, or changing life, or shifting life, or really inspires me. Something totally different that makes you feel really authentically you. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what else comes out as well. Hey everyone, wow, there's heaps on the chat bar today. Paula, Jason, Divine, Laura, good to see you guys having a chat there. Hi Julie, Jennifer's projects, good to see you, Dave. Nice. Okay, let's see what else comes up. We have a couple. Here we go. So we have reflect. That's come up. Keep your eyes open. Joy lives in the smallest of places. So yeah, even though it could be, they're bringing me to last night. Last night I woke up, and usually when you wake up in the middle of the night, right, your mind starts swirling around in the monkey mind. Oh, what happens if this happens? Oh my God, I've really got to do this. And the anxiousness starts coming up and all that hoo-ha that happens with it. But this time I was lying there and I just went, oh my God, my blankets feel so nice. Like my sheets feel so nice. My blanket feels so nice. And I just felt peace, just at peace. Like, I love this feeling. I'm just going to stay here for as long as I can. And that is keeping your eyes open, that joy lives in the small places, right? The small places, and us keeping ourselves in the moment and really loving what we're doing. Like, I'm loving this. I'm 100% with you guys. I am not in my head thinking about anything else. It's just open to the messages that are coming through. That's what makes me a good channeler, because I am I have let go of the monkey mind enough to be able to do this. So remember, life will reflect you as well. And they keep on bringing up too that just to look at what's outside you at the moment in your real reality, like your family life, your work colleagues and stuff. Just step back a bit from those that are really annoying you, and feel into why they're annoying you. Because they're reflecting something in you that you haven't dealt with within yourself. Like, for instance, someone might be annoying you and you haven't controlled that part of yourself to be able to just let it go. And so it keeps on digging at you, but it's just because you haven't let go of it enough within your mind. You're not in control of your mind enough to say, hey, no, I don't want to focus in on that. Because remember, we want to be focusing in on our dreams, the big dreams that are coming now. We don't want to be focusing in on that. That's not in alignment with that. And what happens when we do focus in on that? They become, it's like a scratching blackboard. Becomes louder and louder and louder in your head, and the next time they do one teeny little thing that's out of place, it's just really irky, and that's because you've not controlled your mind to let it go, and so they've become bigger than Ben-Hur. So just be careful of those reflections that are coming in. And nature, take a walk, let the beauty of nature feed your soul. So when we're stepping into our authentic self, we have to start to understand the connection that we have to nature, to everything else, to the elements, to the sunny days, the windy days, the rainy days, how we move through them, and with joy, still feeling into those small joyful places in our life, even though, say today you had planned to go to the beach and it's raining, whether you can, instead of getting down on that and hanging on to that story, you can still delight in the aspect that the plants are getting water and that they really needed it, or that you could change your reality to, I'm going to sit inside with a good movie and a good book or something like that, or listen to some tarot readers, or pick up that thing that I was going to do that was going to help me build my big dream, things like that. So nature in itself, though, is a really good reflection of an alignment of humanity's consciousness. Sometimes, too, they're telling me, sometimes humanity's consciousness will bring in the rain when it needs cleansing, when it needs to just go back into itself and back to home and really feel into self. And then the sun comes out when it's time for action. It's interesting what they're telling me at the moment. So sometimes, they have told me things like, if it's a really big weather thing like a tsunami, they have told me in previous messages that tsunamis can mean overwhelming or repressing emotions of humanity's consciousness, and it ends up coming at humanity in a massive wave to help just break up and smash up the reality that they're in so that they can start afresh. Whether that mean that they leave this world or not, they have to start afresh. And tornadoes are to do with holding resentment and anger and forcible energies for the whole of humanity's consciousness. And in those areas, there's could be a lot of anger built up or stored up. And so the tornado will come along and just rip through that. And then it's just this, I have to let that go and see my world for what it is right now in pieces again. So these things can be a massive reflection when it comes to nature as well. Just be aware of that. Really interesting. So let's get into the tarot, and I'm going to do these really massive tarots and take a bit of a tea. Hey, Laura. Hey, I'm just trying to read some of that that's on the side there on the chat bars as I shuffle it. I don't know what MN is. I'm not from America, so I don't know all of the states or anything. I'm actually from New Zealand. I moved here in 1998 in Australia. Okay. Messages for these energies that are prevalent for us now, what we can move towards. What messages does the tarot want to bring out? We've got a couple that's fallen. I'll take those. Let's see what they are. Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles. Choosing, like I literally see this person carving, like chopping out the thing that he chose, chopping the thing that he chose to grow. Using things to his advantage, seeing what he's worked on, figuring out what to do next. Like they literally show me them chopping that piece and then planting it somewhere else. Reorganizing life, reorganizing your work, shuffling things around a little bit more so that they actually fit into a more happier space for you. Not taking into account what's going to make more money, not taking into account things that you're conditioned to look good to the outside world, but specifically things that are in the moment now, for now, going to make you happy. You might want to shuffle around your reality to just grab those things that are a little bit out of place and go, you know what, I think that's given me too much bad vibes at the moment, not feeling really good around that, even though I did feel good around it like last month. This month I don't feel that good, so I'm gonna just let that one go for now, and then move into something that makes you more happier for now. It's actually learning to move with the new vibrations as they come in, and sometimes they are slower than other times, and sometimes they're quicker. So depending on what vibration you're meeting with is depending on what makes you feel happy, and last week it might not have. So yeah, I'm even feeling, as I'm channeling today, I'm a lot slower, and I'm usually really quick when I channel, and I just feel this drag, like just take your time, don't try to force, just be, just go easy with it. That sort of feeling at the moment. So maybe that's to do with the energy that's prevalent at the moment. We shouldn't rush anything at the moment, but just see things and just change things around, maybe change your desk around so it's a lot easier to work with, or your work environment. Okay, I'm not going to focus in on that anymore or that person anymore. I really feel excited about doing this, and I'm going to do it really well because my passion and my excitement is there. And then trusting that thing that doesn't really suit you is either going to fall away or get done at another time that makes you feel better to do it. So yeah, we're stepping into the King of Swords as well. And the King of Swords knows his intelligence. He knows his wisdom. He understands who he is, and he stands by everything that he thinks and says, his thoughts and his words. And that he can just turn around at the at any given moment and set up boundaries with that sword and go, you know what you said is not right. I'm standing up for myself and I know who I am, and I'm going to take this challenge and stand and say the right thing for myself. Not take your advice or take your advice. But he's a thinker, he's a ponderer, he's a wise man, and he does step back a bit like this and just super analyzes things as well and puts things back into order. And also we have the world that's come up as well in the tarot. So it is the end of one cycle, and because it's the beginning of another, we do have to start to analyze things again. But they're also telling me that the world card is coming up a lot at the moment because we are constantly reshuffling, constantly coming to the end of the cycle. And they're showing me the snake eating its tail. And they're saying that when it eats its tail, it has to consume something of the past that doesn't suit it anymore so that it can keep traveling around the circle and come back to its head of self again. And this is happening quicker and quicker. So as we're going through these ascension vibes that are hitting us at the moment, it seems like we're going through many lives in 1 week or 1 day. It sometimes feels like things are shifting up, and then all of a sudden we're letting go, and then all of a sudden we're starting a new beginning, and all of a sudden we're letting go. And it keeps on doing that until we really get this right, until we really get what we truly desire in our hearts. Right, and connection and that alignment to our souls and who we are right again. So we're becoming the internal world that is reflecting out, and we're starting to see how much the reflection of our world is all coming from the internal self. So as we're stepping into these new ascension energies, we're no longer saying, oh, look, the world is doing that to us. We're saying, I feel this, and I'm going to focus in on this, and I'm going to watch that become my world, my reality. So this shifting and constantly letting go of and constantly trying new things also gives us freedom, because before we were like literally taught, we've got to finish school. We've got to finish that, ballet class for the whole year. We have to do all of the, we've been taught to finish, to do things to a point where it's satisfactory for humanity, for the outside society, instead of aligning ourselves with us and going, you know what, I only needed to do that for a few days, and now I'm shifting it up because the new beginning is starting. Oh, okay, now I need to do this for a week, only for that week, or maybe it is for a year, or maybe it is for the rest of your life. It doesn't matter, but it is your choice and you fitting into your vibrational meet that is making you happy from the inner core out. And you're giving yourself the freedom to shift and change as you go. And if you change your mind because you're too, they're saying if you change your mind through the love of yourself, then there is no fear of who falls away and who comes into your life, because it's through the love of yourself. It's only when we change our mind through the fear of what the outer world is going to reflect to us that we end up muddling things up, and then we end up bringing in people that reflect that fear. So yeah, something to do with that. Okay, I've got these cards out because I'm going to use them as a shadow self and what we have to clear for the shadow self. Great time to be alive and witness all this, eh, Jennifer? Yeah. Really is. It's exciting to see what's coming next, because there is a lot of gems. There's a lot of gifts coming our way, because we're opening so many new doors from within and challenging ourselves to step out of the normal program that's been pulled over our eyes and back into the nature of things, back into the nature of who we are authentically. And that involves the rising up of the feminine self. And what's the feminine self carry? The imagination, connection to soul and oneness, the understanding of many more gifts. It understands that. And so then when it's grounded by the logical mind saying, yes, I agree with that, and that is grounding as well. Yes, I agree with that. In a logical manner, I can bring that in with action. I can focus in on that and work on, like, even if it's something very out there like telekinesis, you can still do the actions, you can practice it. And I'm going to practice it until it becomes my reality. I'm going to accept it into my reality. They're bringing me to this little boy that wanted to learn to levitate. And he, even as a child, he knew straight away to go hide himself in his room by himself. And he just practiced levitating this ball over and over until it actually happened. Then when he got really good at it, he brought it out and showed his mum. And these things have happened in reality, although they have been kept hush on the sideline because people, mum, parents and that want to keep their kids safe, and they know that the outside world would perpetrate or do something, to that child to try to figure out why he could do that, and treat him differently and that sort of thing. So there's a lot more out there that have these gifts that are coming in. And we do have, and just because, and if you don't have those sort of inspirations to do those sort of things, that's okay too. Your inspiration could be that you build a big business that's or more logically based, or that you are a builder of homes, an architect, and that sort of thing. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's your piece of the puzzle that makes you feel really enlightened and happy. So, yeah. Huge shifts coming our way. Okay, shadow self. Is there anything that we need to just, anything shadow self, I'm going to say, is still a positive thing, because whenever I have, every time I have focused in on something that I want to achieve, if there is a blockage, I have to look at myself, and that is what the shadow self is. It is the blockage that is in between you and your dreams. So we're going to see what falls out of these cards for a shadow self to look at. There we go. Once upon a midnight dreary, creative genius, writing, expression, artistic flow. Once upon a midnight dreary. That really brings me to this first card that came out that was to do with dreams. Think big. There's unforeseen forces ready to support your dreams. And I really feel like this has got something to do with that. Like to think big again and understand that even though we are thinking big and we've got great aspirations to become something, we might have certain blockages on our way to that. Now, when they happen, there could be in reflection of someone coming up and saying something quite nasty to you. And then they're asking you, instead of attacking that person, pull back. You might have to stand up for yourself in that moment. We're not saying not to, but pull back your energy and go, why do I feel that person is either one, more important than me to have a say like that, or two, that I feel like they are they have more power over me by saying that. Why am I feeling this way? And that's looking at the shadow self. And then you can move towards your aspirations again once you cleared that, because when that person comes back into your life and says exactly the same thing, you just go, whatever, mate, that's your thing. It's not mine. And you see it as theirs, and you don't take it on as yours anymore. And so you can move forward then towards your dream, because you are taking back your power. So that's a really good thing there. Now, what else have we got? I'm going to pick some Osho cards as well. I want to paint my entire house with vibrant colors. I love it. It reminds me of this teenager. I was in my 20s, and I said to this 16-year-old boy, what would be your most, excited dream to come true? And he said, I want to fill a bath full of jelly beans. It's funny. You know what? And I say, why not? Why not? If it makes you happy, it makes you happy. Maybe eating all those jelly beans might not make you so happy, but you'll find that out soon enough. This world could be a magical place when we start playing with it, when we start playing in it, and we allow it to become magical in our reality, and we stop with the worrying about what other people think, because if we're happy, if it makes us happy, that's all we have to support, is what makes us happy, not what you think other people want you to be. It's what you want you to be. Okay. So let's see where we can go with some lessons. Any lessons that Osho wants to bring up for us? Patience. This is one card that everybody goes, patience, but I've been waiting for this dream for so long. But yes, but we do have to realize that in between us, the reason why we are in the place that we're at, that we're not aligned with that dream, that authentic dream already right here, right now, is because there is probably still some shadow work that we have to look at deeply in ourselves and shift. And the closer we get to loving who we are, sometimes it gets intense, sometimes it does, because it is something that we have covered over and covered over and covered over with so much programming, that when we start peeling away those layers of the program, we get closer and closer to the one that was really, to begin with, lacking in our own power to become and step into that dream. So patience is sometimes needed with ourselves. Also with this card, they're saying to me to please be gentle on yourself. Be gentle. It's okay to sit. If you're birthing something new, you're a new mum, you have that beautiful baby, that beautiful imagining, that beautiful creation within you. And nurture it. To nurture it, we have to be kind to ourselves. We have to be gentle on ourselves. And we have to move through this life as if we're nurturing a little small born baby, that we are, that baby is us and we are it. That new idea, that aspiration, that think big, dream and think big thing that we had is so worthy of us being kind to ourselves as we move through the shadow work and figuring it out. Like even the moons, they're bringing me to the moons. Look, even the moon has a shadow side to it, and then it comes into full alignment, and then it goes back into shadow self again. But eventually we will get to the point where we're like, wow, I feel so happy with just being present in my reality and what I've created. I'm so happy with that. And as things come along to try to rock you by your boat, you just go, it's not my story. I'm sorry. And that's the end result. We will end up going, it's not my story. I'm sorry. And so, it's your story, and you don't give it an ounce or a focus that holds on to it with your monkey mind and tells you, oh my God, that person might come back. What happens if they come back and then I have to deal with them? How am I going to deal with them? You just go, it's not my story. Leave it and keep moving towards living in the moment of your dream world. That's really where we're going. So it's really cool. A man, a gumball, and a tub of gumballs. Sarah, hey Sarah, good to see you. Hey Sasha, good to see you. And Debbie. Okay. Let's do a few more cards, and then we will open up the chat bar after a few more cards. And I will be channeling this week, but I've decided I'm going to do some channeling this week, but I'm not sure when. I've decided to let that happen as it feels to. So it could be one or two channelings. And then I thought, well, I'll make Thursday because Thursday was my actual channel day. And I thought, well, channeling can be any day, really. And I really want to get into alignment of allowing the energies to flow through me for the channelings. So just keep in touch for those. And sometimes they surprise me, and I'll just go on live. But on Thursday, I decided to bring in my life stories because I have so many very, very strange life stories, especially since I was born with a gift that my mum had that could see into other dimensions. And so I've had a lot of very weird things happen to me, and I've learnt how to create my own, carve my own path. Okay, one just flicked out then, and it's the thunderbolt, but I really feel with this thunderbolt, although it's a shake-up that I think we're more in control of. And it's like a falling away that we are saying we no longer need. And also I feel like it's actually creating, because it's like the universe is so happy with us stepping into our happiness and choosing the path that makes us feel that way, that the gifts are coming. And then when the gifts coming, it starts, if you stepped into all of a sudden being, say, telepathic, it would be like, oh my God, I'm telepathic, so there's a new beginning there. And then the vulnerability happens. And then you might have something else to peel away a little bit more shadow work, but you have stepped into that gift. So even though, it's like, for instance, when I broke up with somebody that was, not a nice person in the end. And after that, it was such a tower moment that happened, and that was forced upon me as a tower moment. But then I ended up taking a year break for myself, just completely withdrew, and was lucky. It was all in alignment with what was happening with the world anyway, because it would happen in 2020 to 2021. And then in 2021, I went, right, now I'm ready. I love who I am again, and I am worthy of meeting a beautiful man. And then I ended up meeting a beautiful man, and I said, I'll give myself 1 year to manifest my home. And I manifested my home within 1 year. But when I stepped into it, when we actually turned that key and walked into it, there was some very vulnerable times there where I was like, whoa, hang on a sec, is this for real? You start to look at that. So even though you step into a gift, and it might take you into an ace, like an ace of pentacles, where a gift is given to you through the tarot or something, it can feel a little shaky. It can feel very vulnerable, and they tell you, that's why they're saying, be very patient with yourself in these times, as there's so many shifts happening with us throughout our life. And if you keep seeing something repeating back at you over and over, that's because you didn't get to the core issue of where you gave your power away to that person, to that thing. You didn't get to that core issue to be able to release it. And it all starts with you giving more power to outside yourself, or more power to an outside person, an outside object, an outside thing, rather than you having the reins and saying, you know what, if I stay within my own alignment, then I can be in stillness and in the moment, and in this stillness and in the moment, I can use my imagination to say, this is where my story is going. It's carving a path away from that, and it's carving a path into something that I love, and then watch that all happen. But there is vulnerability in stepping into gifts. I do know that for sure, because I've done it a few times just recently in the last couple of years, and it is kind of a little shaky at first. So just be aware of that. And it's not that every single anxiousness or nerves is going to be annihilated when you start stepping into gifts. They can resurface again, but then it's another level that you have to deal with, that you have to look at within yourself as well. Hey, Elise. Okay, I am going to use these cards, I think, and we will open up the chat bar now so if you'd like to have a tarot, just mention yes, please, or thank you, or whatever you want to do. Thanks, Bobby. I don't really care what to say. I'd love to have a reading. And I will open that up for a reading for you guys. Okay, just clear my space. Now I'll use Osho, because Osho has a lot of good lessons here. Okay, and I'll just have a sip of tea. Please don't say sorry you're late. It's all good. That's funny. Okay. I'll just jump in and pick. So, Sasha. Okay, Sasha. You've got two cards that fell out together. So you have exhaustion, where you've literally exhausted you've exhausted everything. It's almost like, oh, well, I tried that, and I tried that, and I tried that, and I tried that, and I tried that. I've exhausted everything. What's left after exhaustion is to surrender. Surrendering is a whole other game of, I don't know anymore, universe. So I know that I'm love, and that I walk on this beautiful world with a big heart, and I am worthy of feeling into that, and others to feel my big heart too. So I'm letting go of everything, and I'm just trusting this path. And it's like, and then the traveling card came out, like you're trusting the path. And when you do that, when you surrender to exhaustion and stop playing the games in your mind of, what happens if that happens again? What happens if that happens again? Oh my God, that might happen again. It's exhausting. And just saying, I surrender, I'm here, right now, I'm here, and I am here. If I'm here, then I am love going on a journey, because that's source energy going on a journey through your body. It's who you are, it's your soul, it's how you feel about who you are. And if you don't feel good about yourself, you're going to exhaust things as well. So they want you to start feeling really good about who you are in this moment only. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Just stay really present, because in this moment only is going to take you on a beautiful trip with many gifts, because you keep on bringing yourself back to, okay, in this moment only, I am a beautiful person, and I am here for purpose. And I do have a beautiful heart, because it's connected to source energy, right? It is God itself going on a journey. And so the journey starts to show up, instead of you trying to forge through with your mind and catch things that are wrong and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm feeling that for you. And I'm feeling a little warm. I don't know if it's because I'm channeling. It is humid here because it's rainy, so I'm going to, excuse me, I'm just going to take my jumper off while I do these next ones. Sorry, guys. Okay, divine. And don't forget, I do channelings and readings for people one-on-one as well. Oh, you had 3 cards coming up for you. So you have postponement, but it's in reverse. So it's definitely time for you to start moving. Look at the other 2 cards that came out for you. Rebirth and success. Holy doolies. It is time for you to start moving. You might feel vulnerable as you move forward, because, you've probably got used to that used to sitting still and just going, oh, I'm just waiting. Do I take that plunge? Do I try this new thing? Rebirth, new thing, something new. They want you to jump into this like a little child just trying something out. Don't try to hang on to where the success is going to come from. Don't even try to predict anything or how this is going to happen. Just jump into it and enjoy the process of being in alignment with you as a small child just going out into the big wide world and having a crack at, I don't know, building that sandcastle, you know, like small children do, or going across the road to meeting that little boy that, you know, as we grow up, we will never meet them because, hello, the world tells us we should be shy and we should be cautious and all that. And the little child would just walk up and go, hey, hi. I'm not saying that, you know, stranger danger and all of that sort of thing. And obviously a child should be looked after by their parents and all that sort of thing. But I'm just getting you into the essence of what, because you're a mature person now, you know who you are. So if you get into that essence with maturity of who you are, but the essence of being that small child and moving through your life, then movement will happen. The rebirth will start to, the process will start to come in for you, and success is imminent. They're telling me imminent. It's definitely going to happen. And imminent's not a word I normally use. So nice. Okay, oi. Just as I put all the cards back in, and I just looked at oi, and I just shuffled one shuffle, and the same success card flew out then across the table. So I'm going to take that as something for you, oi, but I'll pick one more card. Oi. Oh, yeah. Okay, really? That many? No, not that many. I'm going to take the one that's right in front of me because 5 other cards flew out, but it's just too many for a short reading. Okay, so we have the card of compromise. So you might be coming in, you also have that card of success as well, but you might be coming into a position where, well, do I compromise my happiness for this person? Should I do what they expect me to do rather than what I really feel I should do? It's not a nice game, that game. It is, sometimes we do it because we're trying to appease somebody to keep them into our life, but people should be in your life because they're reflecting your happiness of what you feel about yourself. So if you step into making moves towards the happiness of what makes you happy, whether that is, you know, choosing a path for a moment to step away from that person, or choosing a path for a moment to align yourself with something that they're not really into, then so be it, because it actually, your alignment is the most important thing. The relationships should fall into place from your alignment of being happy within yourself, and that's where your success comes in. And that, you know, it's not to say that they won't still align with you. I'm not saying that, but please don't compromise your own truth and happiness for another person, because you're actually asking them to do the same for you in the end, because we always, as reflection, feel that, well, I compromise there, you should compromise over here. And it's not fair. It's not a fair game for anyone to be playing that game. So keep on. You're the only one that's in charge of your happiness. You're the only one responsible for your happiness, because no one else can feel what your happiness looks like. No one, even the people we absolutely love, even the people who are closest to us, do not know exactly how you feel moment to moment to moment to moment. They can see a generalization from their own perception, but they cannot feel into what you feel. So you're the one that has to take the reins and responsibility to what makes you happy. Okay. Okay, who else have we got? Laura, you have the card of possibilities come out, but we have to jump off the proverbial cliff to be able to come into these possibilities. So the possibilities card is literally, as the eagle flies over, he sees many possibilities because he's flying above all. It literally reminds me of a dream of flying. When we dream of flying, I'm actually, the next class that I'm doing, which is not until, I think it's the 29th of May or something, on the Monday, that's all going to be on dream and analyzing our dreams and understanding how we can interpret them ourselves and that. And I love dreams. Like, dreams are a big thing with me. I've really gone into them in a big way. So yeah, it is reminding me of a dream of flying. And so the flying dreams are to do with you seeing above, like becoming above a problem and seeing it as an observer point of view. And then you see many more possibilities as well in your waking life. But they want you to, even though there's many possibilities coming your way, which is a great card to have, by the way. This means that good things are coming into your reality. They are wanting you to be the fool for a while and jump off the proverbial cliff of what is this going to look like, and just releasing and trusting that you are going to be carried, that the world, the universe will always support your dreams and what you're really going into. They're bringing in that big card, that big dream card that was at the front of the general reading. So yeah, just jump off and have a crack. Okay, who have we got? Okay, Farida Ali. Farida Ali from UK. Good on you, like, subscribe. Oh yeah, thanks. And anyone else who wants to like and subscribe, who's new, please do. Yeah, watch out for me on the Kevin Moore show. That's definitely coming up. I just thought I'd throw in a little advert there. Farida. Oh, okay, it's interesting. Actually, while I was shuffling for you, Farida, actually getting contact coming in for you from other beings, which is really interesting, like guides or something that's wanting to make contact with you, like literal learning, the ropes of telepathy. There's something new coming in, and you have the card of abundance flying in as well. A person who is truly abundant never really has, I mean, they could have something in their bank account, or they might not have anything in their bank account. Doesn't make any difference to a person who's truly carrying the support of abundance within themselves, because the support of abundance within oneself is the knowing that the universe is always carrying you, that will always give you what you need for your next step. In other words, say for instance, you really wanted to go traveling somewhere and you didn't have the money for it. Maybe that money didn't turn up for a reason. You know, maybe that money was saying, no, not right now. Shouldn't be traveling right now. That's your logical mind thinking that, you know, I travel every year at this time, so I should be doing it again at this time. Letting that go and allowing the universe's energies to flow in and shift and change you to alignment of your abundance. And that means that, well, I really feel like having a rest right now. I'm glad I didn't go on that trip, because if I had have, you know, it would have been too much for me in this moment. So this is what true abundance is. Or it could be that you wanted to go on a trip and the universe brought you in the money right at the last minute. Definitely has happened to me when I moved from New Zealand to Australia. I needed the money big time, and I didn't have the right money, even though I had paid for my flights. I didn't have any money to be coming over, like when I was here, to support me. And I ended up manifesting it like a week or 2 weeks before I actually took the plane trip to live here. And I just trusted. I was just trusting. I was in such a zone of knowing who I was and trusting that. And that's where they want you to go with this abundance card. There's a level or awareness of trust that's happening, but you have some sort of communication or guidance that's coming in for you to trust that guidance as you step into this new directional path that's not aligned with your monkey mind or your logical mind trying to dictate what your next path is, but aligning with your soul. So there's something new coming in for you. Who else have I got? Jennifer. We have laziness, but it's come in reverse, which is not a bad thing. Laziness can also depict that you've you're a little bit stuck in your reality, and you're needing to shatter the illusion of that stuckness and limitations. And being in reverse, that's exactly what it feels like you're doing. Like you're stepping out, you're moving away from the polarity game, which is the chessboard here. I'll turn it up, right? The chessboard here, and the illusion of, what I am abundant, literally makes me feel, I put the abundant card back in, but the abundant card was of a man that's very, in accepting mode and allowing things to flow to him. He's like sitting in a seat of feeling that way, where laziness is more to do with, I am rigid, I am stuck, I am here, and I can't be bothered doing anything. It's just day to day going over and over, but I'm going to stay here because if I move forward, then I'll end up getting hurt again or something like that. So that's literally asking you to break the illusion of your next step, and trying something new, try something different, just stepping out of that. And honestly, every single card in this pack I have been through. I've had to learn to shatter, to go through, to be able to understand the messages and all that within them. I've had these cards with me since I was about 27, and I'm now 55. So hello, I know them pretty well. Anyways, they were the only cards that I ever had, actually, up until I started doing all these readings. I pretty much only had a few others, and these were the main ones for about 20 years of my life. Only ones. Anyway, Christina. Oh, new visions just popped out for you then. New visions is this card here. So stepping into a way fresher, it's like something different is coming into your reality, that you're expanded. See how open-chested this person is? They just expanded their reality into something new, and they've gone, I accept the triangle, I accept the circle, I accept the connections, I accept my life path, because triangle to me represents connections, and circle represents life path. I accept, and there's a square down here, I accept grounding this into this reality. There's something new coming into, a new way of looking or new perspective coming into your reality that's literally going to gift you. I'll see if there's one more card that wants to pop out for you as well. Isolation. See, we're breaking through. The isolation card is don't be afraid to have a good cry. Release, because there's something new coming up for you. So be it. If you have to go into the bathroom and the shower or something and have a good cry about life for a bit, until you feel that absolute release. And when you feel that absolute release, and really look at your thoughts and why you're crying, feel into the feelings of why you're crying, because that's going to give you a big clue into shifting into this new vibration. Sarah. Reverse aging much. Sarah K. Okay. Sarah K. How can this be, right? Possibilities. Think big. This is definitely us, guys. We're moving into something bigger than what we've accepted before. How do we move into something bigger that we've accepted before? We've let go of enough of the logical limitations of this world and what this world's supposed to look like. So, Sarah, this is literally asking you to let go of more of what the logical world is showing you. I know that you do, and I know that you move through life with a very open mind. But it's like day-to-day things. There's something in the day-to-day points of your life that need to just see from a higher perspective, see from an observer point of view, and don't get entangled into the mess. Don't get entangled into the story anymore. I'm going to see it from above here. Yes, that's your story. It's not mine. That sort of thing. Okay. Who else have I got? You're welcome, Christina. Okay, Jason. Jason. Oh, we have a thunderbolt. I'm just going to see what else is going to come out with that as well for you. Intensity. So there's something that you're just going to go, you know what? Nah, that's it. I've had enough. I'm going to fire ahead. And I'm going to use my masculine power to just go straight towards that goal. And if it creates ripples, if it creates a tower moment, so be it. It's the power of me, and I'm going to use it. And if everything falls away around, so be it. Just allow it. Just move towards it. I really feel sometimes we do need to step into this intensity card to shake things up a bit and just say to the outside world, you know what, you've seen me wrong. I'm not that. That's your story that's reflected back onto me. I'm this. And so you move into becoming that, more of that. And it can create ripples around the people that are around you. They can end up feeling a little, oh, what the heck is happening? But you just keep going towards that goal that you know is yours. You're going to take it and you're going to say, that's mine. I literally am feeling that intenseness, right? As I read for you. Okay. Ali wants some career advice. She's moving, look at that, moment to moment, Ali. There's something that they want you to be in this moment, just in this moment. And when you're in this moment, don't try. It's really interesting. Like we think that we're intuitively moving through life, but we're actually using our logical mind to grab something from the past, project it into the future. Oh my God, the rest of the world wants me to do this. All programming. So the more that we step into alignment of living in the moment, right here, right now, as I'm breathing, as I'm feeling right now, is there any danger? Is there anything that I need to do that I'm feeling excited to do? Right here, right now. They want you to step into life like that. And keep on stepping into life like that, because the career is going to come to you. The abundance is going to come to you then. And it's you are the universe is, your world is bending to you rather than you bending to the world. And whenever we try to bend to the world, we're coming from our logical mind of what we projectively thought the world should look like and how we fit into it. But when we allow the world, the universe to bend to us, we're saying to the universe, I'm taking my power back. I'm living in the moment. I'm loving who I am right here, right now. And universe, show me my true worth. Universe, show me my next path, how I step into this next career, what that career looks like, where it's going, what decisions I want to make. Is coming from me in the now, not from scared. I'm scared if I make this decision tomorrow, I might change my mind. Well, if you change your mind and you can still get out of it, then change your mind. If you can't, then you need to follow through, because you made a conscious decision from the moment of your heart the day before. So follow through. And sometimes we do want to change our mind the next day because the logical mind's playing games with us. But if you've made your conscious decision from the heart, this is where I want to go, I'm trusting this, and I'm going to put all my effort into that, then the opportunities moment to moment, the next step will come up for you to go towards that. And it could be they're saying that, you might take a side job on just to support you in the moment, but it doesn't matter. You're still going towards the main goal that you really, really desire to become. And you can become that because you've got the abundance card. Okay. I'm glad it resonated, Ali. Okay, I'm going to have to leave it now because I just realized the time and I've got to take my daughter to school. So love you guys heaps. Until next time, don't forget, look out for my new channelings. That's just going to probably be sporadic, sorry. Thursday, I will have my life stories, and I love my life stories. There's so many really crazy things that has happened to me. I've lived on the edge of this reality and the next, heaps, like into other dimensions and all sorts of things. So lots of stories to share with you guys. And I think this first story I'm going to talk about is my truth stone that I found. So yeah, and I will show you the truth stone that I found as well. Really excited to share these stories. So love you guys heaps. Until next time. Bye.